Hi guys, so everyone seemed to enjoy my last collection video, which was of my Penguin Modern Classics, and I'll link it down below if you haven't seen it yet, but I actually really enjoyed filming and editing that video, so I thought I would do another one, and this one is of my Penguin Black Classics. Now, I have 3 of the older editions, which are these 3, which had little different colours at the top and didn't have the white stripe down the side, but then the rest of them are the current black spine editions. So let's have a look at them, shall we? So the first of my old edition Penguin Black Classics is the Greek Alexander Romance. I have not read this one yet. Now this is a piece of ancient Greek literature which is based on the life of Alexander the Great, and you will notice throughout this video that a lot of my Penguin Black Spine editions are ancient literature. We then have Ovid's Heroids, and these are 15 poems by Ovid, all from the perspective of famous mythological women to their lovers, so characters like Dido. Now I haven't read this one either, I still have quite a bit of Ovid's work to get through, and this one is definitely high up on my list. This next Penguin Black Classic has 2 novels in it. It has 2 pieces of Latin literature, and that is Petronius' the Satyricon and Seneca's the Apocolocontosis. I have read Petronius' Satyricon, which I absolutely adore. It's an absolutely hilarious Roman novel. It doesn't survive in full, but what does survive is really funny, and I haven't read Seneca's novel, but I am really looking forward to it, and that one is about the pumpkinification of the Emperor Claudius. Next up we have a collection of Aristophanes Comedies. This is Frogs and Other Plays. The other works in here are Wasps and Women at the Thesmophori. I have read Women at the Thesmophori and I'm currently reading Frogs, and hopefully we'll read Wasps as well. I think this is a really good collection of Aristophanes' work. I'm really getting into Aristophanes this year, so I would highly recommend picking up this collection. I then have one I'm sure you all will recognise, and that is Homer's The Odyssey. This is the translation by E.V. Rue, which is a prose translation. I have of course read The Odyssey. I'm actually currently rereading it, but this time I'm listening to it as an audiobook, and this is the tale of Odysseus on his journey home from the Trojan War, and he's been away from home for many years and everyone thinks he's dead. I then have Lucretius's The Nature of Things, or De Rerum Natura as it's called in the Latin, and this is a piece of ancient philosophy. It is a piece of Latin literature, but it is based on a Greek philosophy, which is Epicureanism, and Lucretius followed this philosophy himself. I am a big fan of this work. It's really interesting. It's split into 6 different chapters, all on different subjects, and this translation itself is translated into rhyming couplets. The original is a didactic poem, and I think this translation is a lot of fun. We then have Virgil's The Georgics, which is a didactic poem by Virgil on the topic of farming, but with kind of political lessons mixed in there. I don't like this book, so I have nothing else to say about it, but I have read it. I have then got Ovid's The Erotic Poems, which collects together 2 collections of Ovid's work. So one is all of his love elegies, which is his Amores, and the other is a long 3-part didactic poem teaching men how to pick up women called the Ars Amatoria, or the Art of Love. I have read everything in this book, absolutely adore it. I think this is a phenomenal collection. I think it's really funny and it really made me fall in love with Ovid's work. There is also a few fragmentary bits and pieces at the end, including Ovid's tips on applying makeup. We then have Aristotle's Poetics. This is sort of Aristotle's scholarly musings on different genres of literature and what makes these genres good or not. Don't really like this. It's interesting. Find Aristotle's prose style incredibly dull, but the work itself is kind of interesting. We then have Herodotus's The Histories. This is one of the earliest pieces of history, specifically written history, and Herodotus basically tells the tale of the relationship between Persia and Greece and different stories from both their pasts to kind of demonstrate why the relationship is what it is, and there's some really great stories in here. It is a bit of a hunker, this one, but it is a pretty impressive and important piece of ancient literature. We then have Sophocles' The 3 Theban Plays, which is a collection of 3 of Sophocles' plays, Antigone, Oedipus the King, and Oedipus at Colonus. So far I've only read Oedipus the King, which is the famous one where Oedipus finds out that he has been married to his own mother and gouges out his own eyes. It's a really powerful piece of literature, and I do need to read the other 2 tragedies in here. Now we have my one non-ancient Penguin Black classic, and that is Daniel Defoe's Moll Flanders, which I have not read yet, but this is one of my mum's favourite books and she gave me her copy, so I am really looking forward to reading this. I have seen the film, but I'm pretty sure the film misses out like at least a half of the story, and I enjoyed the film, so I'm sure I'm going to enjoy the book even more, and also it'll be nice to fill in all the gaps. And last but not least, I have Plato's The Last Days of Socrates, which is all about the real life trial of Socrates in Athens, which led to his death, and I haven't read it. Those are all of my Penguin Black classics, however, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye guys. We then have, oh no,